Hey everybody, there's currently no one actually watching live, but I guess we'll just wait and see if anyone joins. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've done this, so honestly, maybe no one will come, but yeah, maybe we'll wait a few minutes here. Okay, it looks like people are starting to show up. Well, make that, okay, 6 people. Wait for it. I get it pulled up on my tablet too. Hey Alyssa! Okay, we got a few people joining. By the way, I just got back from work, as you can probably tell based off of my shirt. Let's see. Got 16 people here. Alright, wait a sec. I have to watch an ad on my own live stream. This is kind of awkward. Wait for it. Okay, so I think the way I want to do this is kind of like I used to. Just do this as more or less a Q&A. Just kind of chat. And obviously y'all can ask questions live and I'll try my best to answer all of them. And I still, my throat still kind of hurts. And so yesterday when I posted my video, I actually just cut out all my coughing and like blowing my nose and stuff. Because I assumed y'all didn't want to see that. But obviously because this is live, you're going to have to see that. So yeah, that's just, getting that out of the way. But yeah, so feel free to ask questions. Let's see, is anybody... Wait. So Carol asked how the new job is going. So I like it. It's nice. I work at Habitat for Humanity, if you don't know. It's a thrift store. And I like process all the donations and stuff like that. And it's a lot of like hard labor, like lifting and, moving stuff around, like moving furniture into place and things like that. And it's not bad. It's a job. It's decent. I probably won't be here long term. I mean, for one, I'm going out to Utah in like 2 or 3 months. Don't know exactly yet. But so that's one thing. And then also, I'm trying to look for other things, kind of more in the videography or whatever side of things. And I'm gonna be working a little bit for like my uncle and stuff, doing that kind of thing. But I want to find like some more, not full time exactly, but how do I say it, like job type things. But anyway, yep. So the job's pretty good. It's fun. There's a lot of interesting things that come in. I showed in my video that we got like this thing about, or like this book published by the Order of the Eastern Star, which is like a spin-off of the Masons, like Freemasons, if you know what that is. And they're like, they allow both men and women, and it's some like secret society, I guess. I don't know. That was cool. But another question from, oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher your name. Hey Pete, I'm doing a live stream here, so.
You're doing a live stream?
Yeah. Say hello to Peter.
Hello, Peter.
That was dumb.
I know that.
Pretty
That's
good,
why
though.
I said it.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna try my best. Rafaela? I don't know. Either way, they asked what was my favorite thing to do, or my favorite thing that I did in Japan. So, that's hard. I think, like, my favorite thing about Japan, just like in general, is the people. Like, I really love Japanese people and getting to know them and kind of living their way of life, because I really enjoyed that. But I think like something that I did that I really enjoyed was me and my companion one time we went to a temple, like a Buddhist temple. We biked like half an hour to get to it. It's called Shibamata Taishakuten, if I remember right. And it's really, really beautiful. There was like this garden that you had to pay to get into, but it was only like $1, so it wasn't bad. But it was like, so this really, really beautiful garden, but you kind of stand on like this raised walkway, with a roof over it, actually over the walkway, and it's like wood. So you don't wear shoes on it. You take your shoes off before you go in, and like even though it was raining outside at the time, the walkway is obviously really nice and pristine. Nothing, there's no dirt or anything like that, so you could just walk on it. It wasn't wet. Um, I think I actually posted some pictures on Instagram of that day, but that was probably my favorite, like, one thing that I did. It was really beautiful, and it made me feel like I was in Japan, you know. So, yeah. Michelle asks, what was it like being on a mission during the pandemic? How did you do your mission with all the restrictions? So, it was definitely different because I started my mission before COVID existed, and it was kind of this typical. I don't know how much you know about missionaries, but we would like knock on doors or talk to people on the street or try to get or like find people who were interested in the gospel. But obviously, when COVID hit, it's not smart to do that. So we oftentimes did a lot of stuff just from our apartment, and we like. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so we would use like social media or like post stuff to social media, or kind of talk with members or like see if anybody has any friends that are interested, that kind of thing. All doing everything as remotely as we could. And sometimes you have to meet in person. I mean, obviously, if there's restrictions, like legal restrictions for in-person meetings, we would never do it. But if the laws allowed, we would sometimes have to meet in person, if people like didn't have internet connections. But yeah, a lot of our lessons were on Zoom, and like church meetings were on Zoom for a lot of my mission. Things were starting to kind of open up near the end of my time in Japan. I've heard they've shut down again, which is too bad, but yeah. So that's kind of how we did things. Sometimes we visit members as well, kind of during our looser times. But okay, and Kelly B asks, "Why am I going to Utah?" So essentially, I near the end of my mission kind of felt that it was a good idea to go to college, and for a long time I thought I wasn't going to. But I just really had this feeling that like I need to go to this specific school in Utah. It's called BYU. So I'm essentially going to Utah in order to go to that school, and the semester I'm planning on starting is spring semester for BYU, which is April. It starts in April, I believe. But I want to get out there slightly before then, just to kind of get settled and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I'm going out to Utah. Sorry, guys. I am really kind of sick. It's hard to talk. I probably sound different than I normally do, but anyway. Okay, let's ask. What camera would you recommend for brand new vloggers? I mean, honestly, like, probably just use your phone, really. Like, I think it would be smart to learn a little bit about like lighting and things like that, so you know how it works. But I vlog with my phone mostly because I have a camera. Where's my camera? I don't know. I have a few cameras up here, but you can't take video on those. Either way, I have a camera, but a lot of my vlogging is just on my phone because it's more convenient. It looks good enough, especially kind of the rear camera, which I use most of the time, and it gets me to where I need to be, and it's a lot easier to vlog on a smaller camera. So honestly, if you have a good enough phone, like one that's come out in the past few years, it's probably enough for vlogging. And there are things you can buy to like augment it, to like make your phone have better sound or whatever, like a wide angle lens or whatever. So yeah, if you want to do that, that would be honestly probably the best, just to kind of test the waters. And at a certain point, if you want to buy a real camera, you can. And I would recommend like the whatever it's called, Canon, like G7X Mark III, I think we're on, or like the Sony ZV-1 or something like that, which are good kind of basic vlogging cameras. But up to that, just use your phone. Okay. Thank you, Blythe. But Michelle asked, what software do you use to edit videos? I use Davinci Resolve. It's free, but it's also like incredibly powerful. I don't know how it's free. They do have a paid version, which gets you a few extra things like you can do like 3D and like some other things. But the free version is like surprisingly really, really good. So that's what I use. Is Davinci Resolve. Naomi asks, how's dating going? That is a good question. I wish I had a better report, but honestly, I haven't been on a single date since getting back. It's just been hard to meet people. Like, I go to a YSA ward, which is stands for Young Single Adult, and it's like a group of people my age, and we meet together and do like church and stuff like that. But there's not a whole lot of people I'm like super interested in necessarily. Like they're all great and they're really nice and they're fun to hang out with, but no one I'm super interested in dating necessarily. So that probably sounds mean, but I don't know. That's where I'm at. So I haven't been on any dates yet. Hopefully I'll go on some soon. I mean, part of the reason that Utah is good is because there's a ton of people that are in the market. Because so BYU is it's a church sponsored school, so a lot of people of the same religion as me go to that school, and that'll make dating for me a lot easier. Because I've mentioned it before, but I do want to date someone of the same religion as me, and I'm actually gonna make a video about why that is because it's kind of complicated and it's hard to understand at times. So I'm actually gonna like script something and like talk about it in a real video, but for now, basic answer is yeah. That's kind of where I'm at, but. Let's see. Melissa asks, how did the mission compare? Sorry, I'm kind of behind in terms of questions here, but how did the mission compare to your idea of the mission you had growing up, or how did it compare to your mission experience of your parents' generation? So, it was a little bit different because it's like, as a kid, you look up to the missionaries, and they're like the missionaries, like quote unquote missionaries, and they seem very clean cut and very like straight. But when you become a missionary, you're like, wait a second, missionaries are just regular people, and we have flaws, right? And so that's something I had to get used to was like the fact that not all missionaries are perfect, myself included, which means all missionaries are imperfect except for Jesus. He's the only perfect one. Anyway, that's a different topic. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I just wasn't. I guess I didn't expect the human element in missionary work, which it's not a bad thing at all. But that was something I was surprised by. There wasn't anything else that like super caught me off guard, I guess. Everything was pretty much how I expected. But yeah, I don't know. Like missionaries they're just 20-year-old kids. Like obviously we're devoting our entire lives to preaching the gospel. So there's gonna be some differences, but like we really like we're not that different from regular people, I guess. So and then Alyssa asks a follow-up question. She says, is Davinci easy to get to kind of get the hang of? I mean, honestly, it's kind of complex, like at the start. But if you watch some tutorials and you play around with it, you'll get used to it. Like it didn't take me that long. And I'm a bit of like I like tech and stuff like that, so that stuff kind of comes naturally. But you just watch some good tutorials. It shouldn't be too bad to figure out. But sorry. Yeah, Zach says Davinci Resolve is kind of overwhelming but really powerful. Yeah, it's overwhelming at first. Thank you, Marie. Let's see. How's the food in Japan? So the food is amazing. Like I miss Japanese food. My favorite Japanese food is called okonomiyaki, and it's like savory pancakes, which probably sounds really gross, but it's way tasty. It's like there's like meat and lettuce, or not lettuce, cabbage, and like this really good like tangy sauce, and it's super good. I miss that. But let's see. Ref, again, I can't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. You need to like phonetically spell it out for me. But Rafaela, I think, she asked, "What did you do during your quarantine when arriving in Japan for the second time?" So, I did a lot of sitting around, just thinking. I took pictures out my window. I posted one of them to Instagram, actually. You can see that. I talked to my family for like a couple hours every day on the phone. What else did I do? I studied Japanese. I exercised like twice. I should have done a lot more because, I had the time, but I didn't have the motivation, I guess. What else? I slept. I don't know, I kind of liked it, honestly. Like, it was kind of lame because it was really boring. But it wasn't too bad. Like, I kind of like quiet time. Like, I think I'm actually kind of an introvert. Like, I'm an extroverted introvert. I like people, but I really like my alone time. So, I don't know. Yeah, good luck with that. You said your fifth day of quarantine in the Philippines. Yeah, it's honestly, it's kind of tough, but I don't know. Find a way to enjoy the quiet, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Haley asked, if you weren't raised Mormon, do you think you would have still converted and gone on a mission? I think the answer is yes. Because the reason I say that is because when I was like in my teenage years, I more or less had to have my own personal conversion because I was like not I was like not super with it. Like, what do I mean by that? Like, I had my own questions and I didn't really know everything. And I was like kind of unsure, but I was like, I'm really gonna try this out. Like, actually do it and not just do it, like not just go through the motions because my parents want me to. So like I actually went for it and like read the Book of Mormon and all that on my own and really kind of made that effort and came to my own conclusion that yeah, like this stuff is true and it's blessed my life a lot. And then at that point, that's when I decided to go on a mission, like officially. And of course, if I don't know if I would have found the gospel this early in my life if I wasn't born a member, but I think if I like say the Methodist missionaries when I was like 13 or 14, I could see me listening to their message. I'd probably have a lot of questions, but I think yeah, I'd probably be in about the same place. Eleanor asks, what are your favorite books to read? So, my favorite book of all time, it's called Dune. It's a really nerdy book. It's like a sci-fi. There's a movie that just came out with like Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya. By the way, Zendaya, kind of my celebrity crush. Anyway, on a different note, Dune is my favorite book of all time. I used to read a ton, but I don't really anymore. I think the only books I've read recently are one, my scriptures. And is that it? Oh my gosh, that's all I've read. I guess I do more like I listen to podcasts, I watch YouTube, and I don't really do much else in my free time. Like you can see my books up here. Like I have my scriptures. I have my journal, which I don't write in super often. I have my like Japanese dictionary. I have two books I was given that I want to read, but I just haven't yet. I think I really like stuff like. I don't know if you've ever heard of Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. I really like that book, or just kind of those things that I don't know. I'm not much of a snob though, so I'll probably like just about anything I read, as long as it's not super bad. So, yeah, nothing in particular. It's just been hard to read lately because I don't like have the motivation to really make the time to sit down and read. But yes, I definitely should come visit Scotland someday. I would love to do that. So, I've gotten this question before, but I mean, I'm just going to spell out your name because I don't think you're supposed to pronounce that. CNGHNH asks, what are your thoughts on the LGBT community? So, I completely agree with my church. And, like, I don't... Let's see. How do I say this in, like, a tactful way? I mean, honestly, I'm just going to leave it up to them. Like, you can go... So, if you type in LDS.org, go to the website, and then I think if you search... Like, there's a search up in the corner, and if you search LGBTQ+, I think that'll pull up, like, an article or, like a page about what we believe and everything like that. And you can read that, and I agree with that. And that's as much as I'm going to put it. Because I'm not... like, let's see. I'm not very good at saying things in a tactful way sometimes. So, but I think that article is very tactfully put. So, that is like what I'm gonna say, I guess. So you can read that. Um, it's definitely a little bit more of a traditional view than a lot of people these days. But yeah, that's where I stand, I guess. Um, let's see. Any other questions? Let's see. Nelly asks, well, I mean, Nelly, I did, because that's what I did for 2 years as a missionary. But, anyway. Let's see. Michelle asks, top 3 podcasts we should listen to. So, my favorite podcast, it's called How I Built This. And it's a podcast where, like, is, like, he has a bunch of podcasts, but Guy Raz is the guy. And he interviews, like, people who have built really successful businesses or, like, startups or things like that. And they just talk about, like, how they built it, essentially. So, like, what are some good examples that he's done? Let's see. He, like, interviewed the guy that started Kayak, which is, like, the place where you get, like, plane tickets or search for plane tickets. He did, I don't know, who else? I can't remember. Sorry. Can't remember super well. But either way, I really love it because it's, like, really inspiring. And, like, whenever I listen to it, I, like, get really excited to, like, start my own thing and do my own thing. So highly recommended. That's number 1. Number 2, what do I actually listen to? I like, I'm going to look because I'm really bad at remembering these kind of things. Where's Spotify? So, what I most consistently listen to, sorry, I'm pulling up my Spotify. Not sponsored. I wish I was sponsored by Spotify. If you're watching right now, Spotify, please hit me up. Okay. I listen to... Okay, there's a podcast. It's called Waveform, and it's by actually a YouTuber with the name of MKBHD, and he's like a tech YouTuber. And he has a really good podcast where they just kind of talk tech, and sometimes they interview people, and it's just really interesting. So that's recommended. There's a podcast called Stuff You Should Know, and that's been like a long time thing for me. And it's like just these two guys that kind of do research on a specific topic and just talk about it in like a very informal style and explain it. And I really enjoy it. It's like it's just fun to listen to and you learn a lot. So I like that. I guess that might be my 3. I don't know. That's kind of... I like the Colin and Samir show as well. That one's good. I like 99% Invisible a lot. I don't know. I would say definitely number 1 though is whatever it's called, How I Built This. So, yep. Terry says I should grow a full beard like my dad. I want to so bad, but I can't yet. So, my facial hair only comes in on my chin, my mustache, and my sideburns. It doesn't actually connect in the middle, which I'm really sad about. Hopefully it does someday. And I think it will because apparently my dad couldn't actually grow a beard until he was like 24 or something like that. So I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that I'll be the same way and I'll be able to grow a full beard someday because I really want that. But right now I'm doing the mustache. I shaved off the bottom because I felt like it looked too just like messy. It just looked like I hadn't shaved, like just because I was lazy. So I feel like when I shave the bottom, it's like a little bit more like I'm actually deliberately doing this. I don't know. I actually don't know if I like it or not. I'm just kind of doing it. It's weird to have facial hair. Like, I've always wanted facial hair, but it's the first time I've actually tried. So, I don't know. I may shave it off at some point. All right. Any other questions? Have you ever I can't speak. Have you ever considered joining a different religion? Never seriously. I've like I'm interested in other religions. Like I'm really interested, especially in Japanese religions, just being there. Like I mean, I know Buddhism isn't Japanese in origin, but it's very popular in Japan. So that was very interesting. I like Shinto, which is Japanese in origin. I find Islam interesting as well. I've had a few Islam people I've had some good conversations with, but nothing I've ever like been like, oh, I might want to join this. Like never really had that. So just curiosity, I guess. Oh my gosh, this is really hard. I'm probably not gonna do a full hour because I think my I think my what was I gonna say? I just lost my train of thought again. I think my voice will probably go away if I try to go for a full hour, so we'll probably just keep it like half an hour. Okay, Blythe asks, did you like Mutual? Honestly, not really. I don't know. So, okay, background for people that don't know what Mutual is. Mutual is like a dating app for people of my faith. And I tried it, didn't really like it. I mean, it's like any other dating app, I guess. You swipe and stuff, but yeah, I don't know, it wasn't my thing. It felt weird, because like, you're only given so much information, and it feels kind of shallow to just be like, nope, yeah, nope, yeah, like, And then I felt like there weren't really a whole lot of options close by anyway, so it was like, I don't know, I kind of gave up. But, yep, so that's where I'm at with Mutual, I guess. Do you like animals? Do you guys have any pets? Yes. So we have 2 cats as a family, and I love animals. Like dogs are my favorite. I don't actually know if I'll own one, for 2 reasons. First, I feel like if you have this dog for like a long time and you really love the dog, but then it dies, it's like the saddest thing ever. And I don't really want to go through that because I know it would make me cry a lot and be sad for a long time. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd have a dog myself. And then also it's like it makes it hard to travel, which maybe is a little bit selfish of me, but like traveling with pets makes, is quite a bit harder than with no pets. So I don't know. I might have a dog in the future. Cats are cute, but they're not my thing. They're just too, I don't know, like narcissistic, which is kind of funny. Like it's like they're narcissistic to a point that's like endearing, but it's too far. It's too much. So, let's see. Terry asks, "Are you happy to not wear a shirt and tie every day?" Honestly, I got used to it. Like it's nice to just wear a t-shirt, but when you get used to it, it's really not that bad to just wear a shirt and tie. You can always dress up and look nice, which is cool. It's definitely more work in the morning to like get everything together, and obviously you can't just like do any physical activity out of nowhere. Well, I mean you can, but it kind of sucks to do so. So I guess it's kind of nice, but it's not a super big deal. Okay, let's see. Someone asked, how does the mission work? If someone you talk to decides to convert, what are the next steps? Do you as a missionary accompany them through the process? So, essentially, the role of the missionary is if someone is interested in the gospel, well, okay. So, first, we try to find people who are, in the first place, interested in the gospel. And then from there, if they are interested, we give them a set, like 5 lessons, or I mean, they can be spread out more than that, but generally 5 lessons about the gospel, give them kind of a basic run through of what the church is and what, it's all about and everything like that. And then at the end of that, if they so desire, they can be baptized and become a member of the church. And at that point, a missionary, like we're still there, but the responsibility kind of starts to fall towards the local church leaders, who then really are in charge of like fellowshipping them into the community and really helping them like fit in and just get like kind of the further education. I don't know, that's not a good way to put it. I don't know. It's just like really integrate into going to church and stuff like that. And that's That's mostly the local leaders. Like, as missionaries, we do a little bit of that, and we kind of help people feel comfortable, and we try to introduce them to people and things like that, because we know them. But we missionaries are never in a place for very long, so it's really most effective to try to get the people you're teaching to know, like the local members and things like that. So also my throat's getting worse and worse, so I'm gonna have to I'll answer a few more questions and then I'm gonna go. Terry asked how are the rabbits. I don't know, they're pretty good. I see them like once a week. I go out. I don't really go out in the backyard very often. They seem pretty chill, I guess. Okay, Kimmy asks, how do you feel having so many siblings? If you want the answer to that question, in the first time I did Vlogmas in like 2017, I don't know, whenever I lived in Ireland, I talked about it. I made a video about it, so you should go watch it. I think if you just, let's see, just probably search my name in YouTube and then like, do you like having siblings? I don't know. You can probably, it'll probably come up, I would imagine. Okay. That's kind of, okay, there's a lot more questions. Maybe, okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have to cut it off here. So if I didn't answer your question yet, hold it and wait until next week. I'm gonna do another one of these things at the same time next week. I want to do these kind of consistently from now on, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Unless something comes up. In that case, I'll, say something beforehand, just But so yeah, I will definitely like to answer your question next time. Thank you everyone for coming. It was really fun. It's been a long time since I've done anything like this, and I really enjoyed it. So hope everyone enjoyed it as well. But yeah, I guess I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. Be safe out there. I will try to get better as well. Someone asked if I got tested for COVID. I didn't, but my siblings, so this sickness is kind of going through the family right now. And my siblings, who also had it before me, they got tested, and it wasn't COVID. It was just like regular stuff. So I'm pretty confident it's not COVID, plus I've been vaccinated. So yeah, I don't plan on getting tested unless it like doesn't go away or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Anyway, okay, well, thank you everyone for coming. See y'all later. And let's see. I don't actually know. This might be a little bit delayed, but how do I stop this? All right, bye guys.